This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Right now at 6 on Good Morning Indiana. A hearing scheduled for today could change the shape of a case gaining international attention. We are live this morning with what a potential gag order means moving forward.
Red line construction is done, and the buses are on the street. But some area businesses say they're still feeling the pain from the new rapid transit line.
It's a beautiful day today across central Indiana with lots of sunshine. Enjoy it because it's going to turn wet and windy as we get closer to Halloween.
General Motors workers are off the strike line heading back to work today. What the newly signed deal means for employees.
And Election Day is little more than a week away. This morning, what officials are saying about early voting in Marion County.
6 o'clock here on your Monday morning. Thanks for starting your day and your week with us. I'm Meredith Barrick.
I'm Rafael Sanchez. Our friend Lauren Casey is back tomorrow. And in this hour, you'll want to see a Call 6 investigation from our Kara Kenny coming up in about 30 minutes.
We have a great day ahead of us, though, weather-wise, Todd. Unfortunately, we won't have this weather, though, later this week when we need it the most during trick-or-treating hours.
You know, our timing's been off. Friday was nice. Saturday turned out to be a complete washout. Then it proved on Sunday. Today, they're going to carry the nice weather over. But, yeah, unfortunately, and we'll talk more about it, your Halloween forecast not going to be the best one going forward. As far as we need to grab before you go on this Monday morning, we'll have the sunglasses. Once the sun comes up, we'll have the sunshine throughout the entire day. And you probably need that medium weight jacket here this morning as temperatures are currently sitting in the 30s and 40s. One thing I've been keeping an eye on, and it's not a huge problem here in the metro area, is some fog that's trying to get going. These visibilities have been fluctuating a little bit. You notice this area of gray here, that's reduced visibility over towards the Greensburg area. And just now north of downtown, you see some gray there starting to show up on the map. So the fog is trying to settle in. If you encounter it, obviously on the roadways, slow down and make sure you use those low beams. Otherwise, the skies are clear. Any fog will burn off very, very quickly once the sun does come up here this morning. And then throughout the day, we'll notice some high thin clouds starting to filter into the area. But overall, it is terrific for us. So 42 degrees at 8 a.m., 49 degrees by 10 a.m. And then we're up to near 60 already by the time we get to the noon hour with that sunshine. We'll talk about the rest of the day and the rain heading our way for Halloween coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you so much. The fog has yet to impact our morning drive. Good morning to Greenwood, Rushville, and Bloomington. We're taking a live look this morning on the city's west side. This is I-465 and I-74 US 136. As you can see, traffic is well moving this morning on this rush hour Monday morning. But again, the fog, no impact as of yet.
We are following breaking news from Carmel this morning. There is a house fire there that has sent 3 people to the hospital. This is a live look from the scene. The fire started around 4:30 this morning on Jennings Drive. That's near Gray Road and Main Street. We're told a mother, her son, and police officer were all rushed to the hospital. They are expected to survive. This morning, investigators are still trying to figure out what started that fire. We will continue to keep you updated.
We have another breaking news story. We're following a silver alert out of northern Indiana this morning. Authorities are looking for a missing 6-year-old. Layla Vaney was last seen in New Haven near Fort Wayne around 8:30 last night. Authorities believe that Layla may be with a Leon Vaney in a black 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee. You can see the license plate number on your screen there. Police believe Layla is in extreme danger. If you have any information where Layla might be, you're asked to call police right away. We'll have more details as we get them right here on RTV6 as well as the RTV6 app. At 6:04, a judge will hear arguments today regarding a gag order on a child neglect case in Tippecanoe County.
The state of Indiana has requested a gag order be placed on Christine and Michael Barnett. This is the couple accused of abandoning their adopted daughter at an apartment in Lafayette.
RTV6's Alyssa Donovan is live this morning. And Alyssa, you spoke with Michael Barnett's attorney. What are they expecting today in that courtroom?
So, Rafael, attorney Terrence Kennard tells me that he plans to make it known to the judge today that he is in support of part of that gag order when it comes to not sharing medical and mental health records with the public. However, he's not in support of the Barnetts not being allowed to share their story with the public. Now, the Barnetts are accused of abandoning their adopted daughter at an apartment in Lafayette. The couple claims the girl is actually an adult who posed as a child from the Ukraine and that they were the victims of an adoption scam. The gag order requests medical and mental health records not be shared. It also aims to prevent the public from hearing some of the details of the case from the perspective of the Barnetts. That section of the gag order is what Michael Barnett's attorney plans to argue today.
However, when it comes to my client's ability to exercise his First Amendment right, we think the case law from the United States Supreme Court is very clear that he does have a right to speak out, that the only information the public receives should not come directly from the opposing counsel or the state of Indiana with respect to their allegations of what the facts are.
Now, for the gag order to go into effect, the likelihood of prejudice to a fair trial needs to be proven. Both sides will present their arguments on whether or not they believe this gag order should be put in place and upheld within the courts during the trial, which is set for January. Michael Barnett's attorney, Terrence Kennard, tells me that he's not sure if they will actually get a result in that hearing today. He says that might come later this week. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. Some business owners in Broad Ripple say they are still feeling the effects of Indigo's red line construction. Rick Risingmore, the owner of the Aristocrat Pub, lost several feet of curb in front of his restaurant during construction. He says that has caused drainage issues and customers are getting soaked. He also says business dropped by about 20% during construction. And while business has since improved, that hasn't been the case for a few other area businesses.
Some of these people just weren't able to sustain the construction time and no parking in front of their places. Parking's at a premium here.
Risingmore told us he spoke to Indigo and was told the drainage issues are not their problem. We reached out to Indigo and DPW to find out who is responsible, but we are still waiting to hear back.
Did you see this? A driver in search of a parking space wound up in that pool. This was the scene near Ditch Road and Northbrook Court. The driver was in the parking lot of a church next door. That parking lot sits adjacent to the home with the pool. Investigators say the driver likely hit the gas, drove up a grassy patch over a tree stump, through the fence before splashing into the pool. Both people in the vehicle got out on their own. We're told that they're doing okay.
GM workers across the country will report for their first Monday of work in more than a month. Members of the United Auto Workers approved a new contract on Friday. The new deal ended a 40-day strike that crippled GM's U.S. production. There are about 7,000 UAW workers at GM plants in Kokomo, Marion, Fort Wayne, and Bedford. The deal includes wage increases and signing bonuses. But GM will close 3 U.S. factories. The 40-day strike was the longest at GM since the 1970s.
Contractors for the Department of Child Services, which serve vulnerable kids and families in our state, they say they haven't been fully paid in almost 3 months. We reached out to DCS about this issue. The department confirms that it's been reviewing payment processing for several months along with the state auditor's office. And that has led to some processing delays. DCS says they're working on the issue, but they can't say when it will be fully resolved. We'll continue to follow up on this and let you know when that problem is finally fixed.
A second flu-related death is now being reported in Indiana. The Indiana State Department of Health says both people who died were 65 years of age or older. The state has not released where the second person died, but the first was from Marion County. The health department is reminding families a flu shot is highly recommended to prevent the virus. Doctors say that you should get the flu shot by the end of October, but if you don't get one by then, you can still get the flu vaccine into November and later.
Indiana will change the vendor of its teaching licensing exams following complaints about low pass rates under the current program. That move allows introduced legislation this year requiring the state to adopt a national teacher licensing program. Lawmakers say the change will help address the teacher shortage in Indiana. Some people have said the current exams made by Pearson are simply too difficult. The Indiana Association of School Principals says that Pearson does not provide adequate study materials, which makes it difficult for students to prepare for that exam.
Early voting at the newly opened Marion County Satellite Centers appears to be getting off to a brisk start. Until this weekend, the clerk's office was the only place you could go. Now there are satellite locations at the Washington, Perry, and Warren Township Government Centers, as well as Cranert Park. During the first 14 days, the highest number of early votes cast in a day reached 166. On Saturday, 764 people voted all around the county.
And you'll be able to vote at the 4 satellite locations every day through November 3rd. Early voting continues at the Marion County Clerk's office through noon, November 4th.
The winter is coming and snowplow drivers are needed to cover a lot of ground with that snow when it makes it to Indy. We hope not for a while. In Hiring Hoosiers, we introduce you to an Indianapolis family who has made it a family affair to plow outside of their full-time jobs. But first, let's check in with Todd. Todd, no snow in the forecast.
No snow in our forecast, and we have lots of sunshine in the forecast today. It's going to be the best day of the week, so a great opportunity for you to get out and look at some of the Indiana's fall foliage here. The leaves, they are near peak. A lot of them came down over the weekend with the rain, but we have more rain heading our way for the middle half of this week. It's all in your Storm Team 6 forecast. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
And call or book online at aspendental.com.
Hiring Hoosiers is RTV6's commitment to help you connect to jobs no matter your circumstances.
And just as the snow comes and goes, so does this opportunity to earn some extra cash through the winter season.
As our Amanda Sorrentino reports, an Indianapolis family explains how this is a great option for part-time work.
Should we do it again? Yep.
This is a family affair. The Penningtons have been plowing snow in Indianapolis since the late 80s.
It is a family business. We started many years ago. It went down through the generations, our kids, and looks like one of these days our kids' kids are going to do the same thing.
Charlie Pennington started plowing alongside his brother. Now, Charlie has his son and nephews doing the same.
We have front loaders. We have trucks with plows. We offer some salting services, shoveling services, whatever the needs of the customers are.
For Charlie, this is a great side hustle to his full-time job.
I work for IMI. I drive a concrete mixer, and we do this in the wintertime just to fill the gap and help people out.
His son, Chuck, also stays busy as a full-time realtor, but plows to make some extra cash this time of the year.
It's fun. I really like, getting out and driving in the snow. Sometimes you get to help people. It's just fun to get out there and help people.
And your schedule, it's up to Mother Nature. The Penningtons say one season, they only plowed one day, but others, they plowed for hundreds of hours within that one season.
And if you can drive a truck and not wreck, it's, something that all of the landscaping companies, they're looking for people to come drive trucks because some of their guys that run lawnmowers probably can't drive. So they're always hiring. That's who we do a lot of work with. And then if you have free time, why not fill it with something that'll put some money in your pocket before the holidays?
But plowing on your own does take some investment. Plows can cost anywhere between $3,000 to $9,000, but it can pay off over time.
It's usually better to work for a bigger contractor, and they can keep you busier, and then you can pick up some little stuff on your own to help out. There's big landscaping companies around town. They're always needing drivers, and even the government, they need drivers too.
It's a job that needs to be done, and if you are up for the task, there is plenty of ground to cover.
Well, it's unpredictable, but it does pay well. If you're flexible with your time and you're willing to get out there and put up a little bit of effort, it's very financially rewarding.
I know we need them, but I'm not ready for the snow yet. But that was Amanda Sorrentino reporting, and she reached out to several private contracting companies in the Indy area, and they all tell us that they plan to hire right now. If you want to know who is hiring right now, to apply for that plowing job with INDOT at hiringhoosiers.com. Winter work with INDOT runs from November the 4th through March the 27th. So good luck with that. I'm still sort of taken aback that we're talking snow. I know it's coming. I know. I get it.
But guess what? Our resident meteorologist, Todd Clausen, is letting us know there is not a single flake of snow in sight, especially for today, because we are going to have a gorgeous day out there, Todd. However, we are going to have some rainfall later this week.
Yeah, and there's potential maybe Friday that we could see a few flakes of snow. So no accumulation, no. So those snowplow drivers will not be put to work. That is the good news, at least for most of us right now. It's a little early for snow in the season. 44 degrees. That's the current temperature. The wind's out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Wind, not too much of an issue for us today. There's a little bit of patchy fog in spots spots across the area, so be aware of that as you make your way out the door here this morning. It's really in the southeastern corner of the state that we have a little bit of fog where the temperatures are a little bit cooler. It's 37 in Richmond, 39 in Connorsville, as well as Bloomington right now. 47, though, as you make your way into Martinsville, and as you work your way from Tipton up into the Peru area, temperatures are in the low to mid 40s. So skies are clear this morning. Should be a beautiful sunrise a little after 8 o'clock here this morning, but you do notice some clouds off to our west. These clouds will start to make their way into our area throughout the day today. They're just going to be the high, thin clouds, and the further west you are going to see probably a little more in the way of cloud cover this afternoon. But overall, it's a great day for us. This snow you see near Denver, that storm track is going to stay off to our west throughout the next 24 to 36 hours, so we don't have to worry about any of that. And so today is your day to get out and about and enjoy the sunshine, maybe go for a walk, check out all the leaves that are changing color here across the area. 43 at 9 a.m., 53 though already by 11 a.m. Then we'll see our temperatures continue to warm. Should be in the 60s by the time we get to the 1 o'clock hour. Then highs today will be topping off right around 64 to 65 degrees. So it's a really nice day with above normal temperatures. And again, just a little more in the way of cloud cover off to the west. Fast forward to tomorrow. Here we are. Tomorrow evening, the clouds are in place. But once we get to Wednesday, that's when we're going to start to see the rain increase across the area. And the rain's going to potentially come down pretty good throughout the day on Wednesday in the afternoon and into the evening hours. However, a lot of times these storm systems like the one on Saturday, they start to speed up a little bit this time of year. So I'll start to throw some showers already into the forecast Wednesday morning, and then it becomes more steady as we work our way into the afternoon hours on Wednesday. So then we get to Thursday, right? You would hope that the rain is out of here. Probably not. There's still going to be some areas of rain, unfortunately, it looks like, for your trick-or-treat forecast, with temperatures falling into the 40s. So it's going to be kind of a crummy, so to speak, weather as we get into the trick-or-treat forecast, unfortunately. Hopefully, maybe the system speeds up and we can get that rain out of here as we go into your Halloween evening. And then there's a chance of those few flakes in the forecast Friday as the colder temperatures start to come in. And then look at those overnight lows as we head into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. Temperatures potentially at or just below freezing.
All right, Todd, thank you. We are now in our live drive this morning, and we are tracking our commute on I-70 in Hancock County. This is headed towards Greenfield. As you can see, only a few headlights there in sight. Otherwise, no issues to report. We'll check back in with our Shea Goodpaster should that change.
California now under a state of emergency in response to the high winds that have sparked or spread those wildfires, leading to the evacuations. High winds can start fires by knocking down power lines. The Kincaid fire has burned more than 30,000 acres in Sonoma County and has forced nearly 200,000 people out of their homes. This morning, tens of thousands of buildings remain threatened by those flames. More than 3,000 federal, state, and local workers are battling that fire.
One of our readings from our PG&E weather station topped 100 miles per hour, and it did record sustained wind gusts 78 miles per hour.
Meanwhile, in Southern California, the Tick fire has destroyed at least 22 buildings. All evacuations from that fire have been lifted.
A North Carolina man wins a $200,000 lottery prize after trading in a ticket worth a much smaller amount. Ahead in our Trending 6, why this win was extra special.
Flash with no burn.
We are back here at 6:23, and it is time for our favorite segment of the day. And Raf, Anchorman, this is his favorite drink. Do you think he's the one that splurged on this?
Cheers to you on this Monday morning. $1.9 million. That's how much someone just paid for this bottle of whiskey during an auction. The purchase set a new auction record for any bottle of wine or spirit. The whiskey was distilled back in 1926. The rare bottle of scotch was only expected to go for about $400,000 to $500,000. So someone really doubled the price on that one, Meredith.
No kidding. Starbucks says they won't be selling any Halloween-themed drinks in the U.S. this year. The coffee brewer has offered a Halloween-themed drink at U.S. locations each October since 2014. Starbucks says that it's reducing the number of limited time items on its menu. The company says they will offer a Halloween-themed drink outside the U.S., so it looks like you had to go on a vacation for it.
So a museum in Minnesota held a creepy doll competition ahead of Halloween, and boy, did it deliver. Many of the dolls are more than 100 years old, with time taking its toll. They weren't originally meant to be creepy, but now some look like they're watching you or plotting something sinister. The top 3 winners will be auctioned later today and put on display. I think I'll keep that bottle of scotch.
This selfie is out of this world. The Curiosity rover paused while doing scientific experiments on Mars to take a panoramic shot. This is actually a combination of 57 images. The combined photo shows the rover's previous locations where the rover drilled. Scientists should know the results of the experiment next year.
It's only Monday, but this story is a candidate for Good News Friday. You see, a man won a $200,000 North Carolina lottery prize on the way to his final chemotherapy treatment. Ronnie Foster said he bought a $1 ticket, won $5, then traded the $5 for 2 more tickets.
Good move.
And the second ticket, pow, was the big winner. Foster said he was already happy because it was his last round of chemo, but winning this made him very lucky day for him. Good luck to him. That's an awesome story right there.
Yeah, very cool. Well, in the second inning of Game 5 of the World Series, Yordan Alvarez launched a 2-run homer to left center field, and it was heading straight for a fan with 1 beer in each hand. So what are you going to do? That fan clearly wanted the souvenir, but he also didn't want to risk losing a single drop of those drinks. I mean, they're expensive at ballparks. So he opted to stop the ball with his chest. He would emerge with 2 fewer beers in his hands, but 1 piece of baseball history.
Okay.
You got to do what you got to do. Yeah, that would. That would. Yeah. I'll be interested to hear if he has a bruise there today.
It doesn't matter.
It was chilly. Chilly there in Washington.
Yeah.
So I heard probably even more.
You got it, though.
Awesome.
You got it. All right, and you got a great forecast for us today.
I
Home
do.
run.
For today, not so much for the rest of the week. Today, as you walk out the door, it's mainly clear here at 8 a.m. 44 degrees, need the jacket, but we warm quickly with lots of sunshine. Up to 58 already by the noon hour. Then high temperatures today, they'll be topping off near 70 to the south and to the east. Some clouds sneak in western locations this afternoon, so your temperatures are a little bit cooler, but all the temperatures you see there, no matter where you are today, are going to be above normal.
In moments, a Call 6 investigation. An Indigo bus hits a man, leading to a lawsuit and a settlement worth thousands of dollars. Ahead at 6:30, Call 6 Investigates is learning the settlements are happening more often than you might think, and why some say it's not enough to make the victims feel whole.
And at 6:27, we are in our live drive. Photographer Shea Goodpaster headed westbound on I-70. He is tracking a backup between State Road 9 and Mount Comfort Road. Traffic is down to 1 lane because of an ongoing construction project. You're going to want to give yourself a few extra minutes if you're headed into the city from Hancock County this morning. We'll let you know if any other issues arise on the roadways when we get back.
Toyota, let's go places. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Only on RTV6, a stunning video of a man being hit by an Indigo bus. An exclusive report on how much this and incidents like it are costing Indianapolis taxpayers.
I'm Alyssa Donovan. An Indiana child neglect case gaining international attention is back in court today. What this hearing could mean for the case moving forward.
Welcome to Good Morning Indiana on this Monday, October the 28th. I'm Rafael Sanchez.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. It is 6:30, and we are taking a close look at the weather because it is going to be a great day outside. People need to enjoy it because from here on out, it's not good otherwise, Todd.
I know. I kind of like when the best weather days of the week are a little bit later in the week because it gives you something to look forward to. Well, this week, it's right off the bat here on our Monday as we are going to enjoy lots of sunshine. So what do you need to grab before before you go on this Monday morning. And, of course, this beautiful picture down there on the campus of the University of Indianapolis. You need the sunglasses. You also need to have the jacket handy, as temperatures currently are sitting in the 30s and 40s across the area. But the good news is we'll warm up very, very quickly. So through the 6, 7, 8 o'clock hour, temperatures really won't move much at all. What you walk out to is what you'll have at least through 8 a.m. Because the sun's not up. However, once that sun does come up, that's when the temperatures are going to start to moderate very, very quickly. There's the clear skies, some clouds off to our west. For those of you in Lafayette, Crawfordsville, Greencastle, over towards the Terre Haute area, you will see a little more in the way of cloud cover starting to filter in as we get into the afternoon hours, but it remains completely dry. So this morning, notice the temperature jump. Sunrise, once that takes place, will go from 44 degrees at 9 a.m. into the 50s by 11 a.m. with temperatures by the noon hour already to near 60 degrees. We'll talk more about the rest of your Monday and look ahead to the middle of the week when the rain returns, coming up in just a few minutes.
We'll see you then, Todd. We are here taking a look from our live drive. Our Shea Goodpasture behind the wheel this morning. He is headed westbound on I-70, and he is tracking a backup between State Road 9 and Mount Comfort Road. Traffic is down to one lane, as you can see, because of ongoing construction. You're going to want to give yourself a few extra minutes if you're headed into the city from Hancock County this morning. As you can see, those construction barrels are up on either side of the lane that he is in, so just be aware of that as you hit the road this morning. We are following breaking news from Carmel. There, a house fire has sent 2 people to the hospital. Firefighters were called around 4:30 this morning to a home on Jennings Drive near Main Street and Gray Road. Right now, all we know is that a mother and her son were taken from the home to the hospital. We don't know their conditions. A police officer was also treated for smoke inhalation. All 3 are expected to be okay. Investigators are still working to figure out what started that fire. We have a crew on the scene, and we'll get you more information as soon as it comes into our newsroom.
At 6:33, we're following more breaking news. There's a child missing from northern Indiana. Police are looking for this missing 6-year-old girl. Layla Vaney was last seen in New Haven near Fort Wayne around 8:30 last night. Authorities believe Layla may be with Leon Vaney in a black 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee. You see the license plate right there on your screen. Police believe Layla is in extreme danger. If you have any information about her whereabouts, you're asked to call police. We have all of these details for you right now to see once again on the RTV6 app. Simply shocking video, very graphic to see. You'll only see it right here on Good Morning Indiana. We're getting the very first look at that video of an Indigo bus hitting an Indianapolis man in this exclusive story right here on GMI. This moment put in motion a lawsuit against the city's transportation provider that ended in a settlement involving hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Our Call 6 Investigates team is learning these settlements are happening more often than you might expect, and only on RTV6. While this process is costing you millions of your taxpayer dollars every year, some say it is not enough to make victims whole.
The surveillance cameras are rolling on this Indigo bus on March 10th, 2017.
When I got the walk light, I proceeded to cross the street to head to work.
The bus driver starts to make a turn from Meridian onto West Michigan Street. You can see Roger Cave starting to walk into the crosswalk when the bus hits him.
I vaguely remember being flung. At that point, I had closed my eyes.
Roger lays in the street, barely able to lift his head up.
And I remember skidding across the street and was expecting the bus to run over me, but thankfully that didn't happen.
The crash breaks bones all over Roger's body, including his fingers.
It shattered my knee. I couldn't stand.
But Roger and his attorneys with Leidendorf Law want others to know you can fight back.
He didn't ask to be hit by a bus. He didn't ask to have all of those injuries. He didn't ask to be put in the public's eye.
Roger filed a lawsuit against Indigo, alleging he had a walk sign and Indigo was negligent. Roger went on to win a $650,000 settlement to cover medical bills, lost wages, pain, and suffering. His attorneys say Roger should have gotten more.
Is it hard to get a big settlement out of the government?
Yes. It's hard to get a small settlement out of the government. Their worst day is limited. And, you know, a lot of times they know that they have a lot of the cards, and it's hard.
The Indiana Tort Claims Act caps what you can receive when suing a government agency at $700,000.
That $700,000 is for everything, for medical bills, for lost wages, for future medical bills, and as well as pain and suffering.
What do you think about the cap?
I think it's too low. I think the cap does a good job of attempting to protect taxpayer dollars without doing a very good job of protecting its taxpayers.
The Indianapolis Public Transportation Corporation, which operates Indigo, is funded in part with your tax dollars. Call 6 Investigates found Indigo's had 31 settlements totaling more than $1.5 million since January 2018. Indigo is not alone. Government entities often agree to settlements as a way to avoid costly litigation and huge jury awards. Call 6 Investigates found the city of Indianapolis has paid out more than $6 million in taxpayer money since January 2018. Roger is not working, in part because of his injuries.
I can no longer type with this hand. I'm upset that I didn't get more.
You could have used that money.
Oh, yeah.
Indigo says whenever there's a crash or an injury, they respond with an immediate investigation, drug and alcohol screening, and employee retraining or discipline if necessary. Reporting for Good Morning Indiana, I'm Call 6 Investigates, Kara Kenny.
Kara, thank you. In a statement to RTV6, Indigo told us, quote, Indigo prioritizes safety in all facets of the organization and is dedicated to training our drivers to be among the safest in the industry. We did reach out to the bus driver that hit Roger, and we did not hear back. Indigo says she no longer works there. Our Call 6 Investigates team has been crunching the numbers when it comes to city settlements to see which city agency has the most settlements and what types of incidents lead to settlements. You can go to this story on the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com. We are also streaming this entire story right now on all of your favorite devices. Just head to the RTV6 channel to watch this story.
The time now is 6:38. A judge will hear arguments today regarding a gag order on a child neglect case in Tippecanoe County. Prosecutors have requested a gag order to be placed on Christine and Michael Barnett, the couple accused of abandoning their adopted daughter at an apartment in Lafayette in Tippecanoe County. RTV6's Alyssa Donovan is live this morning. And Alyssa, you spoke with Michael Barnett's attorney. What are they expecting today in that courtroom?
That's right. So attorney Terrence Kennard says he plans to let the judge know in court today that he agrees with the gag order on medical and mental health records. However, he feels putting a gag order on Michael and his wife Barnett will be against their First Amendment rights. So that's what he's going to argue today in court. Now, the Barnetts are both pleading not guilty in the child neglect case. Prosecutors argue Michael and Christine Barnett left their 8-year-old adopted daughter at an apartment in Lafayette before moving to Canada. The couple claims that is not that simple. The girl was actually an adult posing as a child from the Ukraine as part of an adoption scam. If the gag order is upheld, both Christine and Michael Barnett will not be able to share certain details of the case with the public, something Michael Barnett's attorney says has been very important for his client up to this point.
He's got lots of support, both from his immediate family and from the public at large. He's had an opportunity for himself to put his story out there and to try and correct the record on some of the misinformation that's been published. So having the ability to speak out has been therapeutic for him in a number of different ways.
And for the gag order to go into effect, prosecutors must prove that pretrial publicity would prejudice a fair trial. Now, Michael Barnett's attorney says that he believes this judge may take his time with this ruling, and it could take a few days before we hear if that gag order is upheld. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. Police are still looking for the driver who killed a toddler in a hit-and-run crash on the west side. Investigators say the 21-month-old girl was struck around 6:30 last night near North Exeter Avenue and West 17th Street. She was playing in a driveway, her parents standing nearby. They told officers a gray four-door sedan hit the girl, then sped away.
There's no indications that the child was out in the street chasing a ball or anything like that. All I can say at this point, all we know is that the child was in a driveway.
After getting the 911 call, police were rushing to the scene when they were flagged down by the little girl's parents on North Tibbs Avenue. The child was lying nearby. They told officers they were trying to make it to the hospital to get help, but she died a short time later. Again, police only have a vague description of the hit-and-run vehicle, a gray four-door sedan. They say a man was behind the wheel. If you have any information, please call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
At 6:41, an investigation now underway after human skeletal remains were found in Bedford. Detectives say a person walking their dog found those remains in a wooded area near 22nd and F Streets Sunday afternoon. A team from the Human Identification Center at the University of Indianapolis recovered the remains. It is unknown how long they have been there. They do not expect to know the identity for 6 to 8 weeks. According to Bedford police, the remains were found near where Brian Bloomquist was last seen back in August. They searched for him in that area in September. Next on Good Morning Indiana, you just saw a stunning and exclusive story involving Indigo from Call 6 Investigates. Coming up right here, what to do if you think you have a claim against Indigo.
And Red Line buses are making stops in Broad Ripple this morning, but some businesses say they are still seeing negative impacts from the rapid transit construction. Todd?
And it's going to be a beautiful day across central Indiana. Get outside and maybe head to the pumpkin patch or the apple orchard as temperatures will be climbing into the mid-60s with lots of sunshine. You'll need to enjoy today because rain returns to the forecast. I'll let you know when. Coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:42.
Fly today at speedway.com.
Our Call 6 Investigates team is digging into how much in settlements are being paid out in claims by the biggest public service agencies.
But do you know what to do if you have a claim against Indigo, one of the state's largest public transit systems in Indiana? A few moments ago, you saw a shocking and eye-opening Call 6 Investigates story of an Indigo bus incident that led to a payout of $650,000. Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny obtained that video. Luckily, the man hit in that incident survived the collision. But here's what you need to know and what needs to happen to report a claim with Indigo, whether you are injured or have property that is damaged. First, you would need to report your complaint to begin the claims process to Indigo. A third-party claim company will review your claim as well as Indigo's legal team. Indigo will compare your claim to the surveillance video recorded on all buses. You should know there are 9 cameras on each bus which record video and audio. The number to call to report your complaint is on the screen right now. It's 317-635-3344.
And speaking of Indigo, some business owners in Broad Ripple say they are still feeling the effects of Indigo's Red Line construction. Rick Risingmore, the owner of the Aristocrat Pub, lost several feet of curb in front of his restaurant during construction. He says that has now caused drainage issues and customers are getting soaked. He also says business has dropped by about 20% during construction. And while business has since improved, that hasn't been the case for a few other area businesses.
Some of these people just weren't able to sustain the construction time and no parking in front of their places. Parking's at a premium here.
Risingmore told us he spoke to Indigo and was told the drainage issues are not their problem. We reached out to Indigo and DPW to find out who is responsible, but we are still waiting to hear back. Here at 6:46, we have a great day ahead of us, Raphael. I'm excited to get outside once we're done here at work.
It's going to be the best day of the week, though Todd is also keeping an eye on some fog in the area. But beyond that, Todd, you say it's going to be A-OK.
Yeah, you know, the fog is only potentially an issue for a few people this morning and only for another couple hours. Once the sun comes up, we'll burn it off. But these visibilities have been fluctuating a little bit. You notice these areas where gray is, that's where some fog has settled in. It's kind of drifted north of Lafayette now. There's a little patch of fog just north of downtown Indianapolis, and then this is the most widespread area here in the southeastern portion of the state. Again, it's not super thick fog this morning, which is good news, and you can see in downtown visibility not an issue with all the lights, but just be aware of if you're going to be traveling across central Indiana here this morning. 39 in Bloomington, 42 right now in Kokomo, 44 in Indianapolis. So temperatures are in the 30s and 40s this morning. Once the sun comes up, not only do we get rid of the fog, but our temperatures will start to moderate very, very quickly. breezy. We're at 50 already by 10 a.m., 60 degrees by the noon hour, and then our high temperature this afternoon gets up to 66 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Absolutely beautiful later on this afternoon. For some of you, though, this afternoon, you'll notice a little more in the way of cloud cover. There will be some clouds that try to drift in here into western locations. It'll be completely dry. You'll just notice a little more in the way of cloud cover this afternoon compared to the rest of us. As far as the snow in Denver, that storm system is going to take a track to our west during the day tomorrow, so it will not play a role in our forecast, with the exception of, again, a little more in the way of clouds across the area throughout the day tomorrow. So this evening, we're still just fine. Temperatures will be in the 50s. Sunset this evening is at 6:48. And then for the day tomorrow, with the added cloud cover, temperatures are going to be running a little bit cooler. Highs today in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, we're probably right around 60 degrees for your afternoon high, and then temperatures will cool off into the 40s tomorrow evening. But the day is going to be mainly dry. That changes on Wednesday. Another round of pretty good rainfall is heading our way. It starts off dry on Wednesday for most of us, but then the showers will overspread the area throughout the day. And much of Wednesday afternoon, we'll be dealing with windy conditions again, and then maybe up to an inch of rain. This is on top of what we saw on Saturday, where officially at the airport we had just over 2 inches of rain, but I know some of you saw even more than that. And then more rain is going to be on the way, it looks like, for Halloween. So Thursday, 52 degrees. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be breezy. Not the best trick-or-treating weather at this point. If you're still kind of coming up with a costume, I would plan on maybe having a costume that involves an umbrella, or at least you'll have to have the rain jacket handy. Behind that front, it gets much colder. Temperatures will be below freezing by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday morning, and don't be surprised Friday morning if you see a few snowflakes around, but we are not expecting any accumulation. And then we'll have the sunshine, but just those chilly temperatures for Saturday and Sunday.
Todd, thank you. We are taking a live look right now at I-70 east of Mount Comfort Road. This is the westbound lanes. We've showed you this earlier from our live drive, but as you can see now from above, those construction barriers or barrels are up. This is now down to one lane. This is creating a bit of a backup, so if this is part of your commute, just give yourself a smidge of extra time so you aren't late to work this morning. When you think of phone scams, most of us think about calls that our grandparents might fall for.
But a slick new bank scam is targeting young professionals through their smartphones, and they are falling for it. Consumer reporter John Mattery shows you what you need to know so you don't waste your money.
A frightening bank scam now lets thieves get right into your checking account. All they need is your phone number and access to a popular money transfer app. And as one man learned, they can con their way into getting thousands of dollars from you. Damon Lander runs a university biology lab. He's not the type of person who would fall for a phone scam. Until now.
I got a phone call from who I thought was Fifth Third Bank.
With the caller ID showing his bank's number, the caller explained he was with the bank's fraud department.
And they had detected suspicious activity, and that they were going to help me take care of that and set up security measures and take care of the fraudulent charge.
So Damon did what the phone rep instructed, such as entering a verification code on his login page. But within minutes, Damon says,
and then at 8:12, my PIN was changed.
He started getting alerts from the bank.
They changed my username, my password, changed my card PIN, set up a Zelle account.
Damon's new Zelle account sent $1,000 to a disposable cell phone number. What's scary is that this scam doesn't require a thief to gain access to your ATM card or maybe a blank check that he found somewhere. No, all it takes is a text or call, and they can get into your account. Even if you've never heard of Damon's Bank, reports say this scam is targeting customers of other banks that use Zelle, including Bank of America and Chase.
Welcome to our 24-hour security department.
This past spring, I spoke with Sarah Robb, who got the same scam call about fraud in her bank account.
Said all the right things. She got my information from me.
To protect yourself, never give your banking info to a caller, even if it appears your bank is on the phone calling about fraud. These days, you can no longer trust that a call from your bank is really from your bank, so hang up and call back their real customer service line so you don't waste your money. Working for you, I'm John Mattery. Good morning, Indiana.
Thanks, John. We'll see you tomorrow morning. We have much more information on this scam, plus other tips to help you hang on to your money. Right now, just go to the Money page on our website. theindychannel.com.
For some, it's prescription-free pain relief, but can CBD really help with chronic pain? A closer look coming up next hour on Good Morning America.
And look who's going bowling. And look how early in the season they wrapped up a trip to a postseason game. More coming up on the big win over the weekend by the Hoosiers. Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
5 till 7 on your Monday morning, and this is a look from our live drive on I-70 westbound. This is on the west side, just west of the Holt Road exit. Smooth driving in that area, no issues right now.
At 6:55, the Houston Astros have come back roaring after losing the first 2 games of the World Series. The Astros got home runs last night from Jordan Alvarez, Carlos Correa, and George Springer, plus outstanding pitching from former Indianapolis Indian Jarrett Cole. Houston wins Game 5 over the Washington Nationals 7-1. They'll return home with a chance to clinch their second ever World Series title. That's possibly going to happen tomorrow. We'll see.
The Hoosiers are going bowling. If you missed it over the weekend, IU got a big road win over Nebraska on Saturday, 38-31. This is their 3rd straight win, and that means Indiana will be going to a bowl game for the first time since 2016, and for only the 4th time in the last 25 years. It's also the first time the Hoosiers have reached 6 wins by the month of October since 1993. They'll try to add to that win total this coming Saturday when they host Northwestern.
Good luck to them.
Yeah, should be a good game. Prime time, 7 o'clock this weekend down in Bloomington.
And we're scoring big on the forecast today as we're going to really do well out there.
Best day of the week, weather-wise. Enjoy it. Keep that in mind because as the week goes on, as I'll show you in your 7-day in just a second. Here, let me show you this one once again first. I hit the wrong button there too quick for you. Lots of sunshine today. 65 degrees. We don't want to pass that up. And then here is your 7-day planning forecast. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy but dry. It becomes wet for Wednesday. And unfortunately for Halloween, we'll be dealing with windy conditions and showers, maybe a few snowflakes in the forecast on Friday morning. No accumulation, but look at those low temperatures by the end of the week. We will be going down below freezing, some 20s possible in many locations.
Wow.
Saturday morning.
All right, Todd, we're back in 25 minutes and throughout Good Morning America with news, weather, and traffic updates.
And you can watch us all day long. Of course, we're always on the RTP6 app. Have a great day. Good Morning America is next.